So now we need to add the panel on the right so we can get ready for our sentiment stuff. So let's do that. We're going to do that in the, let me see, we'll do it in the journal ID page. So right next to the editor. So what we can do is we can just make this, probably the easiest way is probably just to do a grid. So we can just say grid, and then we can say this has like a columns, or I'm sorry, grid calls of 3, like that. We can wrap this editor in a div, and we can say you have a call span of 2 of that 3, basically. And then we can go down here and we can say this is where like the AI stuff will go. All right, so just some basic tailwind, and you can see it's already sectioned off for us here. Pretty good. Let's just make a visual separation, add a border left with a border black of like 5. I think that's or the other ones are like 10, I think. There we go, yep. So now we got that visual border there. Cool. And then for the AI stuff, we'll just try our best to, I don't know exactly what I had on the last one, so I'm just gonna remake it because I don't think it was that crazy. But we had like a top panel at the top that had the word analysis on it, and then that would change colors. So let's do that. So this will be like the color one. We'll just put a hard-coded color in here for now. Give it like a background of like blue 300, something like that. Give it some padding. So PX of like 6 maybe, and like a PY of like 10. And this will just say analysis. So I'll just put like an H2 in here. Analysis. And it'll look something like that. The tricky thing with having a colors change is that it could be any color, and some colors, depending on the color, the text has to be black or white. And because I don't know what color it'll be, it's always gonna look bad. There's a way around it. I can force the AI to only pick one of these colors, but I didn't feel like doing that. But you could totally do that. And then that way you can, yeah, there's a way around it. I mean, there's actually a tool that'll probably take a hexadecimal string and then tell you what color your text should be in order for it to be legible. I guarantee there's an NPM package for that. We could probably use that too, actually. That would be the best package. If it bothers me, we'll do that. And I'll just make the text a little bigger here, 2XL, like that. Okay, so we have that. And then everything after this is just like pretty much like a UL here. So I'll just make a div, put a UL in here. And each one of these LIs is going to be something. So I think we had, what did we have? We had the subject, we had the mood, we had the summary, and then we had whether it was negative or not, right? I think we had those, yeah. So this would be the subject. So I can say, I guess the easiest way to do this is just like make these a flex, I guess. I don't feel like writing a bunch of LI, so I'm just going to make an array up here somewhere because that's just annoying. And I'll just say analysis data. It's going to be an array of objects. And the name, in this case, we'll have subject like this, and we'll just hard code it in. We'll just put an empty string here for now. Oh, I got to turn this Copilot off. It's going to I just can't do it. There we go. So we got the subject there, and then the value will just be a string for now. And then we have the summary. Actually, I think the summary's first, yeah. And then subject, and then we have the mood, and then we have whether it was negative or not. Cool. So we got the analysis data, and then we'll just loop over them with these LIs down here. So analysis data dot map, get the the item, and let's just make an li like that. And then each one of these things in the li, I mean, I guess the easiest way to probably do this is just a flex. So you can say class name flex, align, or I'm sorry, items center, and then justify between. So they're like on far ends of each other. And then in between the li, we can just do item. Well, we do two things. So we'll say, let's just make a span, and we'll say item dot name. And then the next one will be item dot value. Change that to a word called false and not a Boolean called false. Save that, and then add a key so it can shut up. And I'll leave it for a minute. I mean, it's really just us iterating over an array of objects and making some LIs. I do that a lot when I have like static data, because I'd rather write an array of objects than write 4 LIs. Like I don't want to write this 4 times. It's just terrible, because then I'm like, oh wait, it's not styled correctly. I got to add some more classes. You got to do that in 4 different places versus just like doing this. And obviously this data is going to be dynamic anyway. We're going to get this from the back end, but for now, yeah. If you like took this a step further, and this has nothing to do with what we're working on, but you can have like a data-driven UI. Like imagine taking some data and using that data to describe a UI. You can have a UI that looks different for every single person. Add some AI into that. You can have AI create a specific UI for a specific person based off like the things they watch, the things they do, the questions they ask. This is something that I had to explore a lot when I was making a CMS. Like, how do we allow people to create whatever UIs they want? And it basically came down to like iterating over stuff. Okay, cool. We got that. Oh yeah, I guess we want to take this div with this UL and not put it in the div with the blue background. We put it after it, I guess. So I'm just gonna do that. There we go. And I guess we could just make these things look a little better. So for the title here, I could just say, give me this like a text large, and then text semi-bold, or is it font semi-bold? I don't know. We'll see. I don't think that did anything.
Font did.
It's font?
Semi-bold.
Yeah, it's font. Okay. Font semi-bold. Guess we can add some padding to this because it's kind of gross. So px of like 2. There we go. And even some padding y as well. Let's do like 4. There we go. And last thing would be like a border bottom, border top, with a border black of 10. Cool. All right. Just warming up with some basic stuff here. Get those finger juices going.
Where did you throw the border?
Yeah, so I threw the border on the LI. So border bottom, border top, and then border black. And I did 10% opacity on the black. You can make yours look however you want. The design part is subjective. You know, it's up to you. But that's the information I'm putting here. Okay, so let's get everything that we need in order to have this analysis working. So before we can do the AI stuff, we need to have somewhere where this analysis is saved, right? So let's go check out our schema. That's where we save things in our database. So if you go here, we already have it. We have the model called analysis. You can see we have mood, we have summer, we have color, we have negative. What we need to do now is we need to generate this analysis every time the journal entry is changed. So when is the journal entry changed? I guess once when it's created, and then once again when it's updated. So we need to go to those two places in which we're creating a journal entry on the back end, and when we're updating a journal entry on the back end and create a new analysis. But before we can do that, we need to find some way to generate this analysis. So that's where the AI stuff comes in.